May 14th, 6:22 p.m. Ushi and I are getting ready to ride to the mall. Great time to be riding because it is super cool. And about as good as it gets. And once again, I'm on the beat. I'm almost always on the beat. There's something that can be said about just having a Ushi, hook me up, come on. You're slipping. Something that can be said about being nimble, right? Like if I were going on a long ride up like to Bacolod or something, a couple hours, I would definitely take the 160, which I have planned in 2 weeks. So me and the guys from Tokai BJJ will be doing a night ride to Bacolod. That's about a 4 to 5 hour ride, and that should be a good time. Then we're gonna get some sleep in Bacolod, and then we're gonna drive back the next day. And man, I'm really looking forward to that. So there will be a video of that to come. So hop on. How could you be safer, right? Like just a squad of Jujiteros. I don't know if you saw the trash back there, but people all just throw all the people on this street just throw their trash in a pile, and this is a common thing. This guy built a beautiful house. I love his house, man. He did it so quick too. Like in just a few months, I watched that thing go up. They really build a house fast here. So Ushi's on back playing on her phone like she always is. She's oblivious to what's going on. Man, if it always felt like this would just be, it is paradise, but it's not exactly heaven on earth. There are days when it's miserable to go out at noon and 2. And there are things I have to do, or at least I want to do. I want to go out and video my property. I want to go out and have my morning coffee where I spend time with my friends. I've got a small circle here that's a great group, just a great group. Asher, Janet and Will and Rose and Adrian, it certainly didn't go last, but Tom and Har. I hate putting any order on any of this. You saw them people out there walking, by the way. They're doing their exercise at night. That order was more so the order I kind of start my morning, right? Asher's, he's my dealer. Him and Will are my dealers. They deal me my morning buzz. So I'm a coffee drinker, and they are coffee connoisseurs. They have coffee shops, and they make fresh brewed coffee, and it is, you know, you've been drinking Starbucks so long you don't understand how shit it is. And you probably don't try anything else because it just became the de facto standard. Or if you could find a place that actually brewed coffee that day and roasted it that day, brewed it that day, man, it's just it's on another level. It's on another level. And now the thing is, look how beautiful that is. The thing is, cold brewed coffee. That's the new thing, cold brewed coffee. And I don't mind. I don't mind it. I love it. But my favorite's still hot coffee. I'm still a hot coffee drinker. So you have to be extremely vigilant because cars oncoming will pass and they will just get in your lane. And you're smaller, so they're going to expect you to move. So if you're not paying attention and they go into your lane, assuming you're going to move, which they do, and then they've got nowhere to go because they're midway through passing a car and you're not paying attention and you're going straight, well, too bad for you. They usually pull out before they look. That's a common thing. You have to be equally vigilant. In the U.S. you wouldn't have to. If you're on the bigger road, we feel safe in just following the road, right? If it's sometimes little side roads here, it's super confident. Not confident. God, my brain just fritzes out. It's super frequent when people just pull out. They just pull out. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know if they're just learning how to drive or. Stress enough how good it feels at night, man. And there's no unlike Cebu. This is the big advantage of Dumaguete and Valencia, Pampang, Gawin, Sibulan, Tanhai, all that. This area that's just growing. It's interesting. There's a lot of expats here. You'll see a lot of white-skinned people and dark-skinned people. A lot of people that aren't from Cebu or from the Philippines. Sorry. My brain again. It's just comfortable. There's no traffic. I mean, this is if you go downtown, yeah, you have to contend with traffic, but downtown is like a very small part. Granted, some things are only downtown. Sometimes you have to go downtown. But if you're just going for food, you don't have to. If you want to go for food, you can go get sushi, you can go get Mexican, you can go get whatever you want. They have it. If you're going to a mechanic, if you're going to laundry, if you're going to shopping, is something you have to kind of hit the outskirts of Dumaguete for. If I want to go shopping, I've got to go to LP Hypermart, which is just up the road here. So you just start to kind of penetrate the traffic of the city a little bit. They have another place called Kang's, which some foreigners have never been to. I think it's bigger than LP Hypermart, and I think it has better prices personally. Robinson's, when I first came here, that was my go-to spot. It's the mall here. I try to go there as little as possible now, but there are times like tonight. There's a component I need. I need a power cable for a PC. Yeah, all right. I don't think it's his fault or my fault. I think it just happened. But you got to be careful. These people they'll just get over it. You see them carrying the baby. Isn't that crazy? They'll just be, the baby will be sleeping, no helmet on. Crazy for us. Life for them. There was a time when we did it too. In the U.S., we've got luxuries they don't have. I mean, that's what it comes down to. We have more opportunities there, so it's never related to ignorance. It's not about ignorance. It's about luxuries they just don't have yet. I get in a rush. I'm guilty of it. I'm trying not to. I am getting better. In the U.S., we're so used to flowing most of the time that we just want to flow here. And you can't always flow. And I think you're a lot safer if you just slow down. And I'm working on that, and I am getting better. But I still have a tendency to pass. All the paint's off his license plate. It's just a silver license plate. Or he painted it silver, one of the two. But man, I have friends I have one friend in particular. I have many wealthy friends back in the U.S., but I have one who's absolutely loaded beyond most people's imagination. He's made millions. And he has no interest to go outside of the U.S. And life's boring in the U.S. There's no exploration going on there. Once I got out of the U.S. at 18 years old. Well, on my own, but prior to that I was going to Germany and Europe with my parents. I was already addicted, but even more so when I got out on my own. Man, everything's different. Food, go to Italy, the food is different, the structures are different, what you can get away with is different, how you act in traffic will get you pulled, you know, how people drive is different, everything is different, what they drive is different, what how they talk. I mean, it's like going to another world. Here I am in the Philippines, everything is different, the food is different, the people talk different. And that is, to me, exciting. That is life, that is living. Like, I could be here for 20 years, and I'm gonna see something new every day. And I may never learn their language fluently, but that, to me, is another exciting part. Every day, I spend about, I may have talked about this before, you know, at my age, I'm 51, I can't remember what I've talked about in habit, so, you know, there's a fast forward button on YouTube, feel free to use it. Every day, I'm on my scooter at least an hour and a half, because I have to take my daughter from Valencia to Cebulan and back, and that's 25 minutes there, 20, 25. It's roughly 45 minutes, one trip, and then I have to do it again. I have to pick her up, because we wanted to put her in what we felt was the best international school. We found a really good one called Montessori, and Ushi is very happy there. She actually said she doesn't ever want to go to another school. She likes that school. And then I go out and do things during the day. I go to my coffee shop. I go out to eat. I go downtown. I'll get stuff done. I always have something to do, and so I spend a bare minimum 2 hours, bare minimum. That's the least I can spend on my scooter, and sometimes 3. So I bought a like an intercom set for my helmet by a company called Gear.io, I think it's called. Definitely Gear, but maybe Gear.io. And then I synced that with my phone, and I downloaded about 65 Learn Bisaya videos. And I also use Memrise. I use tools at home as well. I'm always studying. But whenever I'm on my scooter, I'm listening to Visayan lessons. Visaya, whatever, you know, some people say it with a V, some people say it with a B. And my Visaya gets better every day. Every day it gets better. And I learn more words. And my goal is to really be as fluent can get. I want to speak it. When I was younger, I learned languages with the quickness. I learned to speak Italian near fluent, and in a year I was comfortable talking. I could talk to people no problem. I had no problem with communicating. And I did really well in German. I had a German wife for several years, and we just spoke German at home. And my mother was German. She always spoke it around me prior to me being married, but at any rate, so, you know, I spoke some languages, and I was married to a Cebuana for 13 years, and she spoke it around me. And so I've been listening to Cebuano since 2005, and I had a vocabulary of words. It was to a point where you couldn't really talk about me, because I knew what you were talking about, but I couldn't communicate. And now I'm formulating sentences, and I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I'll be conversing. But I will say that at 51 years old, your aptitude is not the same. You don't have the same neuroplasticity. And you really have to beat something into your head at this point. You just have to listen to it again and again. And I think you also need to change up the way you learn regularly. But yeah, hopefully soon you'll be watching videos of me just throwing down in Bisaya. This girl's got her dude on the back. That's always funny to me. That's always funny. You just can't do that, man. I don't know. Well, here we are inside of Robinson's. And I have to go upstairs and get a power cord for my PC. This is, compared to Cebu, I wouldn't even call this a mall. This is, even in 05, this would be a tiny mall by Cebu standards. I am looking forward to going to Bacolod. I've heard that they have much bigger malls. So, alright, I'm starting to be stared at. It's time to shut down. Alright, recording again. So, I'm going to tell you how you know you're getting old. And man, I don't, my brain has just been foggy, like super foggy. Here's how you know you're getting old. When you walk into a public place and you say to yourself, do I have pants on? Like, I'm not even joking. That's how you know you're getting old, right there. And you laugh, but, oh shit. You may laugh, but I guarantee you, absolutely guarantee you, old people are doing that. We'll talk about that in a minute. So what just happened? It's very frustrating. All right, I think we're good. All right, Ushi, hop on. Hop on. I don't have any change on me. Well, sorry, sometimes you don't. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. But if you notice, when I pulled in, I parked with nothing around me, right? And there's right now, what they do is, and I'm sorry about this. I am sorry, but I gotta point it out. It's just what I see. I'm just pointing out what I see. What they do, the parking attendants, because what the parking attendants are there to do is to make space, to make sure everyone can fit. They organize you. But what they'll do is they'll come squeeze someone beside you when it wasn't necessary, so that when you come back, it looks like they have to do work. Oh, let me move this, and then you're gonna go, oh, here you go, sir, here, take, here's a tip. But I really see that, really. I've observed it time and time again. I get it. It's, they gotta make a living. I'd do the same thing. I would do the same thing. I'd think I was slick. It's sneaky, but they do it. They do it. But if I have coins, I give coins. I always do. I did not bring my coins today. Normally, I have a pocket full of coins. Ushi and I normally don't go out. I'm usually doing some editing or something at home and at night. But I needed this cable, and I didn't. We ran out in a rush, and I didn't grab my coins. So yeah, even though they do frustrate me, or I think it's a little scammy, I do still tip them. And unfortunately, I didn't have any coins to give him. It's kind of stuff. I do feel. Anyway. So for my friends in the U.S., or even if you're not my, maybe we haven't met, maybe you're just hanging out with Bob, and you're not in the Philippines, or you haven't been to the Philippines, and you're thinking about visiting the Philippines or moving to the Philippines, would you enjoy this? I'll tell you what I do enjoy. I enjoy being able to go out and buy what I want to buy and eat what I want to eat. I can afford to live here. I don't think I should feel bad about that. I'm not rich here. I've said it in other videos, but they may perceive me that way. Just shit or get off the pot, man. If don't block me if you're not going around, man. See, like, why is it so difficult? Like, I could have did that. Oh, checkpoint, shit. Man. Oh, cool, all right. I don't know if I was supposed to stop there or not. I don't know if you're just, yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have to wave you down. Normally they wave me down. Nobody waved, so I kept going. I watched him come ripping up behind me. We're gonna learn tonight. But shit, now that's one of the shitty parts. I've been here since January, and I had never got stopped by the police here. In Cebu, they did it all the time. It was really frustrating. I thought they were different towards expats here. I thought because they never pulled me over, and I thought, man, how cool is that? You know, they're not pulling us over here. But I got pulled over the other night, and the dude checked all my stuff, and I'm just like, man, I'm here contributing to your economy well, you know. But I think they harass everybody. I hate it. I hate it. They harass, and it's prejudice. It is so prejudiced. It should be illegal. The police pull over everyone on a scooter. If you're in a car, so the moment you're upper class, they don't pull you over. I have a car, I just don't want to drive it. I prefer this. This is enjoyable for me. I enjoy the scooter. So now, by virtue of being on a scooter, they pull you over, and then they harass you, and that's frustrating because they think that if you're in a car, you have the money to fight back, or you have the money for attorneys, whatever, you know. They really harass you on a scooter, and that's frustrating. That's prejudice. The law should be you either stop everyone or you stop no one. You can't show a preference. But I don't know. I don't know what's legal here. I don't know, you know. I don't know if they have the same kind of freedom we have in the U.S. And, well, that's going away. Don't get me started on that. So what are we doing right now? We're doing 25 or 30. We're doing 30. We're dropping down now, 20. See how these lights light up in the street? I've never observed that in my town. Maybe they're doing it now. Maybe they've replaced it, but they almost look powered, don't they? Don't they look powered? Some parts they have these all as far as you can go, like on Diversion Road, this road up here. It looks so cool. It looks so nouveau, so modern. So we don't even have to see how he's in my lane. But I think those are cool. I don't know. I guess they're solar powered LED. I don't know. Let me know if you know. I'm curious. I'm sure I could Google it, but I'm not that curious. But if you message me, you know, I'll read it. Oh, dang it. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Bug flew in my helmet and then it stuck in my helmet, right? Look at how many deaths that's caused. Feel it buzzing around my ear. As long as it didn't go in my ear like Wrath of Khan. Barbershop's still open at night. How cool is that? Just go get your hair cut anytime for like $1. I got mine cut today. It was 70 pesos, 56 pesos to the dollar, so $1.20, $1.30. I mean, in the U.S. it was minimum of $20 a tip, so I just give 100 pesos default. It's a 25 peso tip. And you may say, oh, that's cheap, Bobby. It's a 25% tip. They're happy about getting that. And again, I'm not rich, guys. I'm not. I do live on a budget, and I tip. When I get a meal, I usually tip a US dollar. I usually tip 50 to 55 pesos. And a meal usually costs me about 350 pesos. So you do the math on that. I had a wealthy Filipino friend in the Philippines, and he said, just leave whatever change comes back, whatever coins come back. And that's typically less than 50 pesos. You know, sometimes it's 5, 10, 20. But that's how in my opinion, how the wealthy people tip here. But that's how wealthy stay wealthy and get wealthy, right? They pinch pennies. But the way I look at it is I'm saving so much money here. I can afford to give a little bit more, and sometimes excessively more. I always tip when I get a massage is about, typically 280, 300. I usually tip a 50 pesos each. Well, I say each, usually it's me and Ushi, or me and Chen, or me, Ushi, and Chen. I usually give 50 pesos to each masseuse. And they're very happy to get that, and they're very thankful. But you have to add it up. That's the thing. What you wouldn't understand if you're not from here and you haven't lived here is that every time I park, it's 25 cents. Every meal, you know, it adds up. Every time, all these little things, dang it, he is going a bit. All these things do add up. And I am on a budget, but even on a budget, we can tip well here. We can, you know, I think it's better than they get tipped from the majority of Filipinos. So that's a contribution to society. You're contributing. I think if you tip just as well, then you're, you know, what's the point of coming here if you're just going to give it all away, right? And I think my goal is to give it all away, but I want to time it right. I want it to be given away, you know, at the end. I don't want to be, you can't take it with you. And of course I have a daughter, I have to leave some for her. I can't spend her inheritance. I have two sons. They don't communicate with me very much. I don't even remember the last time either of them communicated with me. They're really building some nice places. This is new here. So Valencia's, even in the time I've been here, in the 5 months I've been here, I've seen some nice establishments go up. And I do love living in Valencia. We have been gradually going up towards this mountain, I think it's called Colinas. And look at these nightstands where they're selling food. How cool is that, man? And they just go all the way up. You know, I got a little bit of battery. Let's just ride up to Valencia real quick, or I'll go till the battery dies, which should be any minute, because normally it goes about 25 minutes and it dies. But I have speculated that some of that is due to the heat, and it's not hot right now, so let's see, maybe I'll get more than 25 minutes. That's the laundromat I use right there. There's the car wash I use and the coffee I have when I'm at the car wash. Spicy Food House has some absolutely delicious food. I have a few qualms with them. I'm not going to throw them under the bus. I haven't eaten there in a while. I think there's one or two things they can improve. Sorry if it offends you. I will be honest. This isn't about Spicy Food House tonight. They do have some delicious food, I will say that. Some of the most lami food in Valencia. Look at those walls. Those are 8 feet walls right there. So where I live back there is called East Balabag, and there's that is a barangay. Some people say barangay, some people say barangay. That is a barangay, and barangays here anyway, I don't know if that's a standard thing throughout the Philippines, are broken up into puroks. Purok. I live in Purok 1. East Balabag, Purok 1. Shawarmas, Japanese. Gas stations aren't gas stations here. The majority of gas stations don't have an inside. They don't have, you don't go, there's no convenience store. You pull up, you get your gas, you leave. There are a few, they're not very common, where they'll have a little snack shop. A few convenience items are typically very small, and they're very homegrown. They look like a sorry store. It's nothing like the U.S., right? It's certainly nothing like Europe. You know, if you're from the U.S. and you think the U.S. does it well, you're wrong, because Europe has, when when you pull over, they have eateries over the highway. It's uber cool. I just think this is cool. Look at all this fresh fruit. If you want to eat healthy here, it is not an issue. Can I turn around here? Let's see. I'm gonna. Yep, I saw you, buddy. Hello to you too. So, one way. Which way is that? I don't know. I'll play stupid. No one's yelling at me. Normally I come through this way. Normally they don't let you in from the other side. They have a guy. Okay, well this is interesting. My GoPro shut off, my GoPro 11 here. I don't know why. I don't think I'm out of space. It is very hot to touch. I could definitely cook eggs on it. I don't know if that's bad. I don't know if it's trying to tell me something. The battery, I was going to switch out the battery. I thought, well, maybe the battery's dead. It's at 46%. I don't know why it stopped. So I do feel confident that batteries last longer when they're colder, because when it is hot out, I only get 20 minutes, 25 on a good day, 20 to 25 out of my battery. Not nearly as hot today, although my GoPro is straight fire right now. But we're gonna push it to the limit. We're gonna push this GoPro to the limit. We're gonna see if I burn it up, I burn it up. I'll send it back. It's under warranty. And there's a dip right here that'll just jack up your scooter. Not a lot of light when you're coming up Apelong. And some people, man, it does blow my mind that so many people ride without lights. It is rumored, and you got to be careful here, because people they park your cars here, and what they do is they put rocks in the road to chalk their tires, and some people leave the rocks in the road, right? So if you're not paying attention, I'm sure some people have had a bad night. But the rumor is that there's lots of Filipinos that believe. Now, I don't know how true this is. This could be expats talking out of the side of their neck. I don't know, but it has been said that there are, it was a rumor started, and a lot of people believe it, that you save gas riding with your lights off, right? And you don't. Your alternator is going to turn one way or another, unless you just removed your alternator so you don't have draw on your, but then you couldn't do that, right? You're not recharging your battery, so you got to have an alternator. I don't even know where I was going with that really. I was thinking for a second, I'm like, nah, it ain't gonna work. I mean, it would as long as your battery had a charge, but it ain't gonna be very long. Let's see if it cooled down enough. You know, I don't know if it's overheating, but I left it off for about 15 minutes. I rode to the top of Apelong, well, I rode up a ways. Got cold. This is a beautiful house right here, by the way. This is a big, beautiful house. All right, come on, man. And that's a hip little place to go. I've learned more and more shortcuts as I've learned this town. Starting to feel a little bit like a local. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Don't normally come here at night. Normally it's a... But one thing you feel in the Philippines, I've never not felt safe. Safety is a non-issue, right? It's an absolute non-issue. You can be as safe as you want to be in every aspect, as far as the people around you, the roads you drive on, how fast you drive. I mean, there's a lot of different measures of safety. There's a lot of things you can consider when you're using that term. But it can be as safe as you want it to be here. Maybe you don't even ride a scooter. Maybe you only, I know people who come here and refuse to ride scooters. motos, whatever, but I think that's part of the beautiful part of living in the Philippines. I have a friend in the US who owns maybe 20 motorcycles. And don't get me wrong, but I've got 2, and I could see having 1 or 2 more, because they all serve a different purpose. This is my zippy ride, and then my ADV would be my touring ride. And there's one other thing I want, which is a motorcycle, a legit motorcycle, an enduro. Because there's places I go where the road, see how they do this, they do it, it's normal. There are places I go where the road will just destroy a scooter. I mean, it is just, and there's no other way to go. You'll go from kilometers of one nice road onto a brand new road, like where you turn onto the diversion road, but they'll have this little chunk that's 20 yards of, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. It's so bad. It's the worst. It's not even road. You can't call it road. It's like it's never been ridden on in history. It's like someone's. It's like crossing over boulders, and it just shakes everything on your bike to bits. And enduros are made for that. Dirt bikes are made for that. So the enduro shocks go much higher. They have much more travel. They have a much more play in their rear suspension, much more travel in their rear suspension. So they were built for that. These scooters are built for this, and they do really well. And I just have to go really slow. When I come to those places, you have to go really slow. Look at the cows here. And that's where people just stack the trash, and the trash ends up getting strewn about. But such is life, such is the Philippines. You don't get off that way, you get off this way, Ushi. Don't get off, just stay there for a second. And you know, most all right, mine could be most expats are silly. I think it's so easy to have a helper here that you pay, you know, a couple $100s a month, like a full-time helper, a live-in helper. And you just beep and they come open the gate, or you beep and they, Ushi, go be my helper, and close the gate for me. They unlock the door, they make your meals, they, you know, tidy up the house, whatever. There's many different levels of helper. When I lived here before in 2005, I had 2 live-in maids, and I paid them, I think it was $30, $40 a month each or something. But I also bought their food, and I gave them, I bought their toiletries, and they had really nice rooms. Like I would have been happy to live in a bigger, modern condo. So it was a good deal. They were very happy with it. But they would go out and they'd take my laundry to the laundromat, they'd bring it back, fold it, and put it up, put it away, they'd make my meals when I was home, and clean the house. And what it cost me, $80 a month, plus toiletries, plus food. But the deal is I only bought food if they were making it for everyone. So I didn't buy their food, but if they wanted to cook meals, they just had to cook enough for all of us. Very simple. So, you know, they loved that deal, and of course, I loved it too. So they could, if they wanted to cook an exotic meal, great, do it. I'm eating too. We're all eating. So I just didn't, you know, the deal was it's not for you to eat alone, but if you want to. So yeah, they loved it. It was a good deal for them. One of the things I did, anyway, I put nail polish on my lock so I can tell the 2 apart, because the 2 keys are the same. I know I'm a genius, right? I'm a flipping genius. That's ingenious. Come on, Ushi. Come on. It's basically I'm Einstein. Very proud of that. You can see the dust here. All right. The house is a mess. I'm going to turn off the thing before I turn off the lights. Until next time.